Good evening. How are you this evening? I'm calling in the evening because I'm coming from the hospital after I was with Holly. So this is, I guess, a sit and talk instead of a walk and talk. But I hope to add walk back into my progression shortly. I just couldn't stand seeing the way we're covering the most important events of our time, which is the coup attempted in America and the ravages of Putin crossing into Ukraine to seize another nation state, presenting us with a parallel of bullies getting away with violations of the law, and we we seem close to running for the hills, and we don't want to offend the bully who is doing these things. In America, it's Trump and his corrupt band of know-nothings and ne'er-do-wells who would have overthrown the government with a series of lies if they had their way, and they failed. And now in Ukraine, we have the puppeteer for Trump trying to do directly what I guess through Trump he tried to do indirectly, which was to diminish NATO, diminish the EU, tear apart really the European Union with Brexit, put Trump in office and have him decide softer reactions to Putin's ongoing misconduct. So we have Putin, who's charged across Ukraine, committing all sorts of war crimes, invading in violation of a number of legal documents to which Russia signed, including the Budapest Memo and the Minsk Agreement. And we are chary to challenge this war criminal. And we're talking about how we settle with him. Now, I thought Biden the other day said what I'm hoping he honestly believes, which is that this man should be pushed out of office. And some people have said, how can you say that? Well, does anybody remember how Putin interfered in our election to choose our president and helped elect Trump and then attacked Biden on behalf of Trump so that Trump could have a second term, and it failed because America winced at the possibility of having to suffer another 4 years of this guy. So how would I sum up my reaction? Number one, we have to force our leaders to obey the law. Right now in America, we have two tiers of justice. You have the political and business class. And when I'm talking about business, I'm not talking about small business. I'm not talking about mom and pop shops. I'm talking about the people they're mentioning in the tax code who pay no taxes and walk away with billions of dollars. And I'm not against profit. I'm not against innovation. But I am against buying inequality because you have the resources to distort and torture the system into a corrupt bargain. The second tier, that's us, you and I. We are the people not above the law, and these other people are stratospherically floating above the law. Now let's follow this theme a little bit. What do we have saying against it? Every day we have iterations and proofs of what these guys did to try to commit a coup and take over the government. And still the Department of Justice, charged with preserving and protecting the Constitution and the laws of the land, has not indicted a single insider in this case, though they're talking on the air, they're writing books, they're giving speeches, they're taunting us, and we still haven't charged them. Indeed, Mark Meadows, who's an excellent example, he was subpoenaed by the House. He didn't cooperate with them. We asked the Department of Justice to prosecute him, and nothing since December. Okay, now let's shift fields. Let's go look at how Ukraine is basically defending Europe and perhaps the world from this warmonger who threatens us, rattles the, if you will, atomic saber, and says, watch out, you better be careful. And people wonder, is he crazy enough to do that? Well, he does emulate Stalin, and he's had this view since 2005 that he should put together the Soviet Empire that was taken apart in World War II, which is interesting because it kind of mirrors how Hitler reacted to the Treaty of Versailles, because he thought that Germany got a bum rap And then, by breaking the law and everything else, he managed to charge around, seizing Lebensraum, living room for himself. And that's very similar to what's happening with this terrorist, Putin. And what do? Oh, don't offend him. Please, do not offend him. Who knows what he'll do? Well, that's not my reaction to a bully that could compromise the entire planet. And that's not how we deal with people who commit war crimes. And I think when Biden expressed the view that he should be removed from office, even though others are walking it back, oh, I didn't really mean what I said in the passion of the, or whatever, I don't know. And Biden is saying, I did mean what I said. Well, you know, let's embrace it then. Let's go in and wipe this guy off the face of the earth and stop this babying. Let's stop it at home. Let's stop it abroad. And, you know, yes, the committee on the American side is looking and finding fabulous things, as are other writers and investigators and so forth. What good is the information if we don't act upon it? What good is it to know that there's corruption, there have been laws violated, and we're not going to enforce them, and we're not going to have an accounting, and we're going to let this go on? No, that's not allowed. And are we going to do the same thing with Putin? Say, okay, go back to your corner. It's okay that you killed all these people, tried to destroy a nation state, left neighborhoods in rubble. No, we have to do two things. We have to show courage at home, political, I assume, because it can only be cowardice or fear or corruption that stops them from acting, and the same abroad. If Biden really has put together NATO and we really have all those troops in the area, let's march across the thing. Let's shoot down their damn planes. Let's do what America claims it is, which is the champion of freedom and liberty, of law for all people, equal before the law. And that's not happening now. And we are in danger of losing our democracy at home and abroad if we don't act. So, it's late at night, but apparently I have some energy left. I finish with this personal note. Holly and I are very grateful for all of you who have reached out. I know I made a note the other day about it. It's somewhat of a roller coaster following the medical ins and outs of how you recover from such an amazing operation. I mean, well, I won't go into the detail, but you probably know. I mean, imagine they did the first one of these in 1963 with that technology. How is that possible? Now there are, you know, like 50 pills a day and different tests that they have, and they're measuring every aspect of you. Well, Holly has been courageous, more courageous, I might say, than a lot of public figures. And I'm with her through thick and thin. We're a team, and we love each other. And we have that even as these scoundrels betray us and betray the trust to us in peace and war. And that's shameful. And so it's up to we the people to call them on it. And, you know, friends of mine that I see commenting, I just don't understand them, like Joyce Vance. I just do not understand how you say, oh, different prosecutors could have different ideas. No, they can't. How can you possibly see this evidence and think, oh, it's just a mistake? It's not a mistake. These guys sought to bring down our government for the first of a line of autocrats who probably hoped, as he said, that he'd be in office for how long? I don't know. 10 years, 20 years, however long he lived on this planet. So I want to thank you. I can't spin around and show you my trees. Or I could go outside in the dark and do it. It would be the same thing. Again, thank you all. I do appreciate that we've spent this time together. I try to comment when people write, because I do learn from what you have to say. And I think that kind of dialogue in the internet age has advantages that people keep eschewing or denigrating. All the best. Maybe the next time I'll be walking on a road. All the best. Bye-bye.